Hey everyone, it's January 14th, 2021. I have some special guests with me today. It's very warm, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Mike and Jessi from Highley Varlet.
Hi everybody.
Hi, we're so excited to be here today. We are marathon walkers and we walk around New York City, and we found Action Kid on the internet and have been following along for a while, and had this special chance to meet in Red Hook today.
Yep, we're in Red Hook and we're going to do a walk all the way to Fort Greene Park. Let's
That's right.
do this.
Yeah, all right.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're going down. So we do themed marathon walks around New York City, and we've been doing it since June 21st. 5 days a week for 30 weeks now, so almost 4,000 miles. And each week we do a theme, and this week we happen to be doing the Battle of Brooklyn, which is a Revolutionary War battle that actually happened. And Action Kid happened to catch up with us in Red Hook, where there's a bunch of different sites down here, and we'll be talking about them as we pass them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're in Coffey Park.
That's right, yeah.
It's not named coffee like the drink, but there's a Y at the end.
I don't know. I wonder what it's named after, actually. I don't know that I've ever looked it up.
Yeah,
It must be
I
a
don't know either.
person.
Yeah, probably. I haven't looked it up myself. I don't think it's a Revolutionary War person.
I think we'd have to know that if it was this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, we would. We're obligated.
Yeah.
There's a museum somewhat nearby called the Old Stone House. And they have a really great exhibition on the Battle of Brooklyn and all the different things that went on during that time. And they didn't mention anything about Coffey Park.
No.
But they did mention a fort called Fort Defiance, which is just a couple of blocks away, and there's a general store there now.
Oh.
So we can spy it on the way.
It's been interesting to me since we've been thinking about the Battle of Brooklyn this week to imagine, like as we're walking around, to imagine what it must have been like then.
Yeah, it must have been such a strange time back then.
Yeah. And just like, it was forest and field and
Not as many buildings.
not quite, I don't think.
Yeah, well, where we're going to go by Fort Defiance, that was right by the shoreline. So what folks watching can kind of imagine, because we're going to go to the current day shoreline, you can imagine how much landfill and building of the actual ground they did, like multiple blocks between where the water shoreline used to be and where it is today.
Yeah, that's a good point. That whole, even like the land itself didn't exist until, I don't know when, but sometime post 1800s, New York was actually expanded.
Yeah.
And this area turned into a very industrial area. We're in Red Hook right now. I don't know if you mentioned that or not. But it was, for shipyards and industry, and then now it's kind of had a bit of a renaissance as people are interested in some of the old buildings they have here.
Yeah. It's definitely a really mixed neighborhood. Here you have public housing projects, a big art scene,
Yeah.
and IKEA now is on the pier there.
That's
Right. Yeah, it's an interesting, a couple weeks back we did a walk on the BQE. And so we were talking about Robert Moses a lot, and he was, city planner and sort of ran the city for a couple decades. And I think a lot of city housing was built under Robert Moses too. And I think Red Hook city housing was built out here, unfortunately, because it was out of the way.
Yeah.
And now it's become this destination too. And so, yeah, I agree. It's interesting just sort of how diverse that makes a neighborhood then.
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna run out of sidewalk here.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think we have to
gotta
get
go
over.
this way. That happens a lot on walking adventures.
Yeah. Yeah, all the construction.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've walked in places where there were no sidewalks.
Yeah,
Plenty of
actually,
times.
Staten Island. There were a couple areas in the more southern part of Staten Island that it blew my mind that there were no sidewalks and busy streets. Like it felt like being in the suburbs.
Yeah, I think Highland, was it Highland Boulevard?
Yeah,
That sounds
Island
right.
Boulevard.
Yeah,
I think down there, it's just no sidewalks at all, but bus stops still.
right.
So you're walking on the grass and the side of the road, and then there's a bus stop out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you're like, how do people utilize this normally?
Yeah.
Have you walked on Highland Boulevard? That
No, I
sounded
was
familiar to you?
I was there 2 days ago.
Oh, no
I
way.
rode my e-scooter there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That was smarter to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to walk over there. It's too crazy.
Yeah, that's a good area to ride the scooter.
Yeah. Well, we started in on this project idea to walk New York City because we had previously done walks all around the country. We walked from San Diego to Los Angeles. We walked the length of Vermont. We walked from the Pacific Ocean to Olympia, Washington. And those are all walks where there is no sidewalk most of the time. You were on the side of sometimes beautiful, sometimes treacherous roads.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the amount of like actual highways that we walked on the side of was not like interstates, but like 4-lane roads that I did not want to walk on the side of, to be honest. It's really refreshing to be in New York, where really the only spot in the city so far that we've come across anything even remotely close was in Staten Island.
Let's take a right here.
Just a couple
Okay.
of times.
I'm gonna go right here. And you do a lot of walking, right? Over, 4,000 miles you're into this project now?
That's correct.
Yeah.
26.2 miles a day, 5 days a week. So typically it's Monday through Friday, but sometimes we shift around the days if we want a 3-day weekend, but we never miss the 5-day-a-week quota. So it's 131 miles in any given week.
Yeah, and so since we've been doing it since June, we're in week 30 now, and yeah, that puts us at right about 4,000 miles since June 2020.
That's great.
And somehow we're still moving. It's gotten easier, I think, physically.
Oh yeah.
The first couple weeks especially were a lot of getting used to the distance, and then even the first few months, occasionally kind of significant pain would come up. And now it feels like our bodies have totally adapted, which is really, it's kind of crazy to me how our bodies just will go along with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, people ask me hey, you do so much walking, how many miles do you do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not nearly at the level you are.
Oh, but you do walk a lot too.
I do walk a lot too.
Do you capture the mileage for yourself?
Well, my iPhone does. Usually I'll do at least 13, 14,000 steps a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So here we are. This is the Fort Defiance General Store, and this is where it's generally thought to be that the Fort Defiance was. And
there's
as you'll
even
see in our walk,
what does that say? The eyes of the world.
the eyes of the
Are
world
watching
are
in
watching
awe.
in
in
awe.
awe.
I don't know, but that sounds like it could be a revolutionary quote. I don't know if it is
Yeah,
or not.
actually. And so I guess you can imagine this would have been where the coastline was.
Yeah.
Right here on Van Brunt Street, I guess, was
Yeah.
the edge of what was then considered
What
Long
was that, Red
Island.
Hook? Yeah.
Not well, or was then considered Brooklyn as well, actually.
And so, yeah, we can go down this way. It's still going to take another 5 or 7 minutes for us to get to the water.
Yeah. Here's the Fort Defiance storefront. Oh look, they got breakfast and salads, classic sandwiches. Very cool.
It does seem like when you peek in too, it looks like a pretty great store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like everything's fresh and laid out very well. Yeah, too much glare in the window though.
Yeah. You have to take our word for it.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a crash course in Revolutionary War research in anticipation of our podcast later this week. So you can take with a grain of salt the information that I have, but it's fairly reliable. It's from the old stone house. And Fort Defiance, its role in the Battle of Brooklyn during the Revolutionary War was that it was exchanging fire with the British ships that were in the harbor as the British landed their troops down in Gravesend Bay. So it was, the British were actually using Fort Defiance as a diversionary tactic in order to get their troops. And there were 30,000 British troops that they had in this battle. It was the largest battle of the Revolutionary War.
Maybe Jessi might know a little bit more, but I think the more of the art scene is down there by the water, right?
Yeah, I think, you know, I always get really turned around in Red Hook. I was saying earlier, I used to live just in Gowanus, but now, so I'd come and sort of walk around a lot, but I think because the streets aren't quite gridded, maybe I get turned around. But I think Pioneer Works is down near the water. I think it's back that way.
Oh, I think it's
slightly behind us.
You might be able to pass it, but that is
But-
a really cool spot.
Yeah.
That our friend Tahir Karmali is an artist that was in residence there a while back, and they put on amazing exhibitions and have incredible talent coming in. Every quarter I think they change it up with different art exhibitions.
But that is right along the water. And I think it's probably one of these chicken and an egg situations where artists moved out here and then that opened up and it brought more artists moving out here. And there's also a lot of industry that sort of lends itself to large-scale art projects like steel manufacturers and wood shops and things like that out in this neighborhood.
Let's cut a ring.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, we got some cobblestone now.
Yeah.
That's nice. I love the old cobblestone when that shows up.
It's great, yeah. Sometimes in the old places too, you can see trolley tracks on the cobblestones.
Yeah.
Even parts of Dumbo have them, Long Island City.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the layers and layers of history that's still preserved here is really amazing.
And like the architecture too. I mean, you look at a building
sure.
like that. There aren't a lot of places in New York City that have buildings like that.
Yeah. That's something I've been thinking about too since we've been doing this walk. And I think part of the reason we did it is just slowing down and like really paying attention to all the details. A lot of us that live here are like so rushed and busy and running around all the time. It's been really nice to take walks and be walking for the sake of walking and seeing and like being able to be a little bit of a tourist again and not feel silly or like dumb or anything for like looking around wide-eyed and excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For folks that are fans of breweries and distilleries, there are a few down here too. We just passed the Keg and Lantern Brewery.
Oh yeah.
And
right there.
There's the Van Brunt Distillery that's down here. So yeah, it's like it's a locale that you can come and spend the afternoon walking around, maybe getting some craft drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned about the walking and then noticing things around you. Ever since I did these videos, I was noticing more things that I never thought before when I was walking. I was like looking up, I was like, oh wow, this might be interesting to show my viewers, or a landmark I haven't discovered before.
Right, and like, yeah, it's sort of like what you said, even like the trolley tracks and the cobblestone. It's that kind of thing that I feel like previously I might have noticed, but only like halfway. You know,
Yeah.
like you just step over it and take it for granted.
One of my favorite ones, I don't know why it's coming to mind, but one of my favorite discoveries like that, we were walking up in Queens, near LaGuardia Airport, and we were just on a random street, and it ended near the water, and we went down, and there was this scuttled boat, like rusted scuttled boat, had a hole in the side, and it was on this beach. There was a beach in the middle of Queens.
Oh, I think I know which one
have you been there?
Yeah.
Near
I was
College Point,
surprised.
right?
Yeah, in College Point, exactly.
I have to go there again.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the planes are landing
Yeah.
right over you as it's happening. It's just like, it feels like, how is this spot even in New York City, you know?
Yeah.
That was so weird. I discovered that place back in the summertime, and I only spent like maybe.
Oh,
Oh, hello.
yeah.
I only spent about like 2 minutes there before the mosquitoes just came and swarmed me.
Oh,
I was like, I gotta get out of
really?
here.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. We were there in the fall. It's okay there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
can
we
go
were
there
there in
now, which is no
November.
problem.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can imagine. Yeah, because it was a little like maybe dirty too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's areas like that too that you're like, how is this New York? And also, how is this New York in 2020? Or now it's 2021. Like, if it feels like, well, if this is New York, it must be. We must have time traveled back to the 40s or something. Like, it's too
Yes.
quiet. It's too like unprotected.
Oh, you were talking about art stuff here. It looks like there's a glass
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
and a tasting room.
Oh, and a wine tasting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Flickinger, Glassworks, wine tasting,
Nice.
South Side.
Oh, I guess there's actually a bunch of things in here. There's a butcher and furniture design, woodworking.
Hmm. And we got this thing. I don't know what that is. But
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Maybe power?
Hmm.
Or
Cool.
yeah. Yeah, I like it, whatever it is.
These are the outskirts of Red Hook now.
That's right.
Not
Yeah.
many people come down here.
And as I mentioned earlier, you can see we're still not at the water. We're almost there, but you know, this was all land that was put in by humans. This didn't exist previously.
Right.
Ooh, I like this pattern, the cobblestone.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
That's really cool. Kind of looks like a fan.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
I'm sure it has a name for that style, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
Statue of Liberty.
Oh wow.
That's a good view.
Oh, you can even walk on that pier, but
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I
was
think
trying to
Not
go
the-
that way. I think one more block up and over we can go.
yeah.
Oh, it looks like they're doing a film shoot out there too.
Yeah.
Cool.
That might be fun.
Two film shoots collide. It's nice. I love. We're just walking in the street too. You know, this
there's no
also
traffic.
feels like so, like we're breaking the rules, or I don't know, getting a like real treat or something.
And we got some murals across the street here. Some graffiti too.
Yeah. I like all the colors. Oh, here's
Oh,
a
here's
car.
a car coming. Take a look at that Manhattan skyline.
Such a beautiful view. That never gets old to me.
It never does.
Do you notice as you walk around too, since you're in so many different neighborhoods, do you notice how in some areas the skyline is confusing?
It is.
Like you're like, wait, why is that building there? Like, what am I looking at? Because you get so used to seeing it from one angle.
It does. When I go to like Dumbo, it looks weird. Like, why is everything to the left and to the right? And then over here, it's like, wait, I don't see Midtown from here. I just see New Jersey and the financial district.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And then when you go over to the Jersey side, it's like, wait.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
totally
used to this.
backwards.
And like the Statue of Liberty, you just see her back. It's like, where's her front?
Right. Oh yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to go all the way. It looks like there, but we can go as far as we can.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't go there probably. Well, we need to get that little bit of extra mileage somewhere else.
Yes, exactly. We'll pick it up.
Oh, I bet they're filming that. Look at that.
Ah, look
Oh,
at that.
wow.
That's nice. Two helicopters.
How's it going?
Doing a little filming down at the end of the pier.
What's in the project?
It's a music video
Oh, cool.
Okay.
for a known artist that I can't.
Oh, that's fine.
That's the NDA.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe we'll see it and we'll figure it out in the future.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
probably in the next couple months.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, we're doing a little shot here and then the helicopter with like the logo of the artist.
Oh, it's
Oh,
beautiful.
very cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
we were coming to walk.
Okay.
We were coming to walk down the pier, and then we saw that, you know, two film shoots are colliding, as we said.
Mhm.
Oh, is there another shoot?
Oh, well, we're just recording some video too.
Yeah, for YouTube, just
That's
walking
good.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is there 10 walk down the pier? Right now, we are in the middle of the shot, so maybe if you don't mind just waiting a little bit. But yeah, obviously, I mean, the park is free.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
It's no problem.
That's actually one of the they all work for the district.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Assemblyman.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, she came down to just kind of say hi.
Nice.
It's like the most friendly, political person I've ever met.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Seeing if she could help, I was like,
That's very sweet.
probably put you to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Everyone's a little nicer these days.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so happy to be back at work.
Yeah.
I know. Do
Sluggish.
something.
Yeah.
It's really quite nice to.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, there's a
Now
Staten
remember
Island
the
ferry.
city has energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll get a
Y'all
better
enjoy-
angle
Yeah.
from here.
Yeah, get the ferry.
Staten Island ferry passing the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, sure.
All right. All right, we want to go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to us?
we could. Do you want to talk to the assemblywoman?
No, it's okay.
No, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Move on.
Yeah.
Funny, these sorts of things that you find while walking around
I know,
too.
film
Yeah.
shoots.
We
and-
know it all
random
happens,
stuff.
right? But
Mhm.
when you spend the whole day outside, you eventually run into enough people.
Yeah, I ran into you the day before Thanksgiving, so
Right.
That's right.
that's
That was wild. If y'all should go back the day before Thanksgiving. There's a video of a live stream Action Kid did, and we ran into him on the street. We were
Mhm.
already fans for months because we're doing this project and we wanted to find other YouTubers that were doing something that we wanted to emulate. And then just turning the corner, only a mile away from our house, we ran right into him. And like I was able to recognize him. I don't know why. It was just like boom, Action Kid right
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
It was
It
so
was-
exciting.
That was so
Crazy.
funny.
If you want to see me super excited and animated.
It's very cute. Yeah, you're very excited.
Mhm.
I've never noticed this before. On the back of the cop car, it says movie TV.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, movie and TV.
I've
Pop car.
seen that police are on film shoots, but I've never noticed that they're actually like specific police. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's the first time I've noticed that too. Good eye.
Thank you.
So we were just looking out at the water, and if you could imagine, there were 1,200 supply ships and 300 battleships.
Wow.
It was the largest force of British naval ships that assembled until the 20th century.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, their plan for the Revolutionary War was kind of a shock and awe plan. They wanted to have the war done in one decisive battle. And so they threw all their chips in August of 1776 to defeat the colonial forces. So keep going this way. There's I don't know if there's any fans out there of John Turturro, the actor, but if you search John Turturro Battle of Brooklyn on Google, he narrated this little history of the Battle of Brooklyn for the Old Stone House, the museum I mentioned earlier. And it's really great because John Turturro is incredible. And it has like the musket shots in the background and like the continental drumming, and it's very Revolutionary War reenactment thing.
This block here kind of reminds me of Bushwick or East Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
If it had the murals, then it'll look a lot more like it.
Right. Yeah, it's cool to find like each neighborhood does have its own personality, but then
Oh, they're making a movie down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A music video for an artist they couldn't tell us about.
Oh,
of
well,
course.
before they knocked this building down right here,
Yeah.
for about 3 years, we were literally nonstop Hollywood.
Oh
Really?
my gosh.
My
We're
gosh.
talking A-listers,
Yeah.
from J-Lo to, well, they did Ocean's 8, the woman one with all those women that were
Oh
in the
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
scenes. I mean, so when they took that down, it got
Yeah.
and then
Wow.
when people got sick, like airplanes and you hear them, and I'm like,
Oh,
wait,
wow.
something's wrong. I hear a helicopter.
Yeah.
You know? Then I'm like, wow, it's very low to the water too. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a film shoot, so
Take that.
we're doing our own video
When
for
film shoots
YouTube.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
Isn't it
Yeah, it's
cool?
really small, this
That is
thing.
totally awesome.
Right?
I like technology.
Oh, thank you.
I just wish
Hey.
it was real, some of it. Because I've seen these like futuristic cars.
Oh yeah.
Like where the whole wall opens up, you get in 2 seats. It's like no wheel, and it's like I'm sitting in.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I need to be chauffeured.
Yeah. Well, we're getting pretty close. I mean, there's a Tesla place not too far down from here
Yeah,
now.
they're not very
Yeah.
nice people.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
They're very nasty to the locals.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
no.
gosh.
Yeah, it's a shame
Yeah.
because, but they literally came in like a beast. And,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They force people to.
Because we play nice down there. I don't know where you're all from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Where-
from
Yeah,
we're
Astoria.
Same
Brooklyn and
patch.
Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you from?
We're from
We're from Brooklyn
We're
and
Yeah, I'm
Bushwick,
from
Ridgewood,
Queens.
and Bed-Stuy meet. That's where we're at. So
Yeah.
off the Wilson L or the Chauncey
Yeah.
J. Yeah.
We're all back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Astoria.
Across the borderline.
Yeah. Oh, I go all over the place.
Yeah.
Look, see, we do have
Yeah.
a tree that grows in Brooklyn.
Oh, there it
Yep,
is.
plenty of trees.
When they wrote that book,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably when they did write The Last Exit to Brooklyn,
Yeah.
that was done from all down in here.
Yeah. I mean, this is a wonderful area. Have you been here a long
Yeah.
time?
Third generation born and raised in the house.
Wow.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
They're gonna drag me up on my feet because they ain't going anywhere.
I wouldn't leave either if I
Yeah, I
had
wouldn't
this
leave.
place. Beautiful home.
Yeah.
It's like, even if we sell
Yeah.
and then take taxes out and go somewhere else and relocate and buy, you really, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever lived anywhere, but outside these areas, it's boring out there. There is nothing to do.
Well, J-Lo's not coming by every day.
no, but we had Gaga not too long ago do a music video.
Yeah.
out
Nice.
there.
That's
Well,
great.
she
Wow.
used to live around here.
Yeah.
So we had Michelle Williams living here for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, where else can you live in the country where you can just sit on your stoop and see celebrities walk by?
Especially this block,
Yeah.
it's such great entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, you see anything from farm animals to people
Farm
in tutus
animals.
or wedding dresses. Or, yeah. This is like, you ever see that movie, The Burbs?
Oh, I love that
Where
movie.
the kids sit up on the top of the porch and they smoke and drink while they watch. Well, come and sit up
Yeah.
here with me, watch The Burbs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
It's amazing. This shit goes on.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Well, it's
Yeah.
great talking to you.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for
it's great
chatting with
talking,
us.
yeah.
Come back again. We're always here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Will do.
All right.
Will
Like
do.
Troy.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna post this on my YouTube channel, Action Kid. We're just doing a walk through
Do you
Red
have
Hook to
that
downtown
written down?
Brooklyn.
I would not remember by the time I get in, or you have something. I'd
Yeah,
love to
I have a
see it.
card.
Oh, absolutely. Why
Yeah.
not? Just
Sure.
place it there. You know, I'll get.
We got one too. You noticed our
the
heads?
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it over here.
When I have to get up,
All right.
because actually, I do nothing all day basically, and I just started getting into the TikTok videos.
Oh,
Nice.
And, okay, yeah, you have to do at least 95 to get that few that actually crack me up.
Yeah.
And then it's just not really long enough where you want that part two and can't find the answers because they set you up. You see the pattern and the people, the routine, and some of it is quite brilliant.
Yeah.
Others, it's like, okay, give me a break.
Right. Totally.
Yeah, I love your dog.
What's the pup's name?
Zoe.
Zoe.
Say hello, Zoe.
Oh.
Give him the look. Tell him I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille.
Oh my gosh. She's so cute.
She is little, yeah, she sniffed those cards. Yeah, those
Yeah.
people.
Oh.
So you come back out, we do free kayaking on the summertime season.
I've
at the
heard
bar.
that. That sounds really fun.
On Thursdays, it's the adults basically, and then the weekends open for families and kids. Still free, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
we do a movie once a month.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
We'll have to swing back around for all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you drank and ate through Red Hook yet? What little is left?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I haven't
used
been
to
in this
live in.
neighborhood too much.
Yeah.
Well,
We
it's
have
beautiful.
A new restaurant that's about to open on Hamilton by the tunnel there.
Oh.
BBQ place.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
It's like I drove by and I said, wow, somebody put a building there.
Oh.
Oh, that went fast. You
Yeah.
know?
That's a great tip.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't wait for it to open where we can actually go in.
Yeah.
And eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
All
have to
right, well,
check it
cheers.
out.
Yeah,
So great
take
to meet
care.
you.
It's nice to
Yeah,
meet you
To my
too.
loyal fans, hello. To the public.
Okay.
It's nice to see humans again.
Yeah.
People forget about us little folk back here, y'all. Snuggled away from reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Bye, Zoe.
Bye,
Nice to
Zoe.
talk
Bye,
to
Zoe.
you. Bye, Zoe.
So cute. Hi.
See you later.
Well, that was cool.
That was nice.
I know.
What a nice guy.
Yeah.
How often do you get to chat with people on their stoops when you're walking around?
Exactly. Not often. I don't think remember the last time that happened.
I don't know the last time that's happened to us either. It's so nice.
It's a little tricky for us because we walk 26.2 miles a day.
Yeah.
So there is a time management, So
Mhm.
it's actually nice to be with you today because this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
If we get home at midnight, we get home at midnight. But
Oh no, I don't want you to be home that late.
Well, we'll be home
We
earlier than that.
wouldn't even mind. No, yeah, it'll be like 8.
Yeah.
But he's exaggerating. We did actually though on
Except for this.
yeah,
I know,
this
be
is
careful.
something big.
We got construction here, movie sets, person on the stoop, and now this.
What an exciting day in Red Hook.
I know.
Watch out for this.
And this water here doesn't look too clean either.
It doesn't look very clean. Looks like someone put Hawaiian punch in it or something.
So when did you start doing these marathon walks?
So we started June 21st on the solstice of 2020. And we've walked 5 days a week since then. And we're going to be going for 1 full year until June 21st, 2021. It felt really nice to start. We originally wanted to start March 21st, which would have been the first day of spring, which felt like a new beginning, you know, like nice day to start a project. And then we were delayed because of the pandemic. So we waited 3 months, but it feels really nice to start on that, like, the longest day of the year.
It really does.
To take, like, the longest walk, you know?
Yeah.
This building is awesome.
Yeah.
I
very
know,
cool.
I just pointed the camera up to it. It's really unique.
Yeah, it was a pretty surreal moment. I mean, it's surreal for every person out there that's watching, obviously, to have a global pandemic hit. But it was our intention, as Jessi said, to start March 21st. And I left my job on March 1st. I was working at a video game company. And, you know, I put my 2 weeks notice in. And by that point, nobody knew it was going to be this scale.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And by the time the 2 weeks were up, everybody at the studio was packing up their computers to go home.
Wow.
It was almost like if I can't work there, nobody can work there. And they still haven't gone back to their office. You know, everybody's
Wow.
working remotely.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people might say that that's very bad timing, but you looked at it as really good timing.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was.
It was time to get out of there,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
And do something independent.
Yeah.
Definitely. Even with my channel, I noticed a lot more people got interested in my videos ever since March.
Really?
Yeah.
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 Well, it was also, you know, New York was an epicenter at the very beginning. So I think people were very interested to know what it looked like, you know?
Yeah, to know what was going on here and how people were handling it.
There's a lot of beer bottles here.
Yeah. I guess that's the recycling tree.
Yeah. I think we're headed towards the direction of the Tesla
Oh,
dealership,
yeah.
right?
That's right, yeah.
It's on the border of Red Hook and Cobble Hill, I think.
I
Yeah.
actually didn't realize it was over here.
Yeah, I just wandered into it back earlier in our project. I had no idea, and then all of a sudden, oh, you know.
Yeah. I just saw a sign too. It looks like we're on the Brooklyn Greenway right now, which
Yeah.
is this bike path that goes along. It follows the coast of Brooklyn as much as it can. There's certain areas where it goes in, but it's kind of awesome. I think it's fully connected at this point, so you can get on a bike and be on a fairly protected, at least labeled bike path the whole way.
Yeah, I've cycled parts of this greenway, not the entire
Yeah.
section.
I don't think I've cycled the whole section either, but small parts. But you seem to be more of a biker than I am. You seem to
Yeah.
bike more often too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, Jessi mentioned Pioneer Works earlier,
Mhm.
and that is this
Oh,
building
yeah.
here. We might be able to get a clearer view when we
Uh-huh.
turn the corner, but this is
Definitely.
this art space that, you know, for folks listening that live locally and have never been down here, you know, I'd check it out online and see if it's something that interests you, because it's a really cool space.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I don't know if they're doing any events now, but
Yeah.
I'm sure when everything's happening again in the city, they'll be doing stuff. They do have a really nice outdoor space too, so maybe they are doing things.
Mm-mm. And there's Pioneer Street.
Yep.
Fitting
Yeah.
name for a Pioneer Walk.
Yeah.
And the Red Hook ferry terminal. I forgot to
Yeah.
even show
Wow.
this. Yeah, $2.75 to ride the ferry here. It's just a weird entrance because you got to go through this, you know, industrial space just to get to the ferry terminal.
It almost looks like you're not supposed to enter too,
It does,
doesn't it?
really.
And there was a sign about Hurricane Sandy. This is where the storm
Yeah.
surge was,
Mhm.
or it was 5.5, almost 6 feet.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Red Hook was really hit hard during Hurricane Sandy.
Well, also too, going back to the point you made, a lot of it was landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so originally wouldn't have even been land. I wonder how much that had to do with the storm affecting it more too.
Yeah. I think Van Brunt was the actual coastline.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, here's Pioneer Works.
There it is. That nice gate that leads into their backyard there.
Ooh. And I think this is a Jewish temple here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think there's any English letters there. I can't
No.
read it at all.
No.
But it does seem like it's some sort of religious building.
I think this is a building that definitely needs scaffolding. Stuff is falling off of it already. The walls are all
Yeah.
peeling and look at that, the bricks even coming out from the bottom.
Yeah, oh wow.
No
Good
wonder why
thing
they
they
have
have the
this up.
scaffolding there.
Yeah.
Especially after this year, a number of buildings have fallen.
Mm-hmm.
I forget where now. I think there was one in Williamsburg, and I think there was one on Court Street, not too far from here. So
Yeah.
good that when they see that happening, they put up some scaffolding.
All right, back to Van Brunt again.
Back to Van Brunt. These are nice places that have been around for a while. Especially I don't know San Pedro, I think it has been here for a long time, but the Ice House was a sort of popular place to go. Dive bar kind of feeling.
Is this another brewery? In the street,
Ah.
Light and Grip?
Light and Grip. I
think
think
it's for
it's
filming.
for
That's for filming,
yeah.
yeah. I was looking at it again. I was like, nah, that doesn't sound like a name of a brewery.
The logo does look like it
It
would
did.
be, and the building looks like a brewery. I agree. But yeah, I think for filming.
This area is changing so much though. New places going up and
Yep.
restaurants.
Yeah.
This the Red Hook Lobster Pound. This we're approaching right now. This is very good for lobster and seafood if you like it.
Yeah, I think this area seems to change a lot, but also at the same time has some real classic places that don't seem to get pushed out, which is nice to see. It's sort of like both.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
It's on the steering wheel, right? You gotta.
Any more sites for the Battle of Brooklyn around here?
So, not yet. What I could say about this area, to the best of my understanding, is that this general location is near the Gowanus Canal, And the Gowanus Canal, before it was a canal, was a marsh. And so when the colonial troops were retreating, and spoiler, the Americans did not win this battle, but they were retreating at one point across the Gowanus marshes, which were not the best place to retreat, if you can imagine. There were actually soldiers that drowned as the British were shelling them with cannonballs from the hills around the Prospect area, Mount Prospect area. So this was basically a spot where there was a large-scale retreat happening.
And I guess because the Gowanus then created like a border from the British, were they sort of safer on this edge? Or
They were trying their best to get towards Brooklyn Heights. That was really where the strength of, I guess, the colonial army was. They had spent from March to August, the American soldiers had, building different fortifications all around Brooklyn in order to prepare for the invasion. And the fortifications kind of surrounded the Brooklyn Heights area. And ultimately, I guess to tell a little bit more of the story, we won't be in this area, but we'll be talking about it on our podcast, which you can watch on our channel. The British flanked the American soldiers around Jamaica Pass, which is out further east into Brooklyn, because the Americans had left it unguarded. So the Americans had put all their troops around where the Prospect Park area is, and around by 4th Avenue, and they had left their back completely unguarded.
Yeah, and so the British actually came up from down near where the Verrazano Bridge is right now, because they had also been preparing, but they were on Staten Island, and they were practicing like their warfare plan, I guess, and they brought over German troops, which were called the Hessians, and trained with them until they finally decided to come over. And obviously the bridge wasn't built yet at that time, so they came over on boats, but it was still right around to that area where the bridge would land in Bay Ridge now. And they marched up and sort of like split up, so they sent some troops to be distracting or taking the Americans' attention to fight, and then they sent another troop out to where Mike was saying Jamaica Pass was, which is now like around the Broadway Junction area.
Yeah. And I mentioned earlier there's 30,000 troops. I don't know if that sounds like a lot or not a lot to everybody, but to give you an idea, the population of New York City was 25,000 people. So they sent more than the entire population of New York City to deal with the revolutionaries.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
And not even all of New York City was revolutionary. Like, there were a lot of people that were living here that were fine being under British control, that in fact wanted to be under British control.
That's right, the Loyalists.
Yeah. There's definitely a industrial area now. You can see it.
Yeah. You can see the BQE from here too.
Yeah.
Now.
Gowanus Canal is probably down there.
Right.
A few blocks.
I see the Tesla logo.
Yeah, I see it. It's all the way down there. Gowanus Canal, when I went there, it was so polluted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Superfund site. The federal government has provided money in order to clean it up because it's considered toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're in the process of dredging it, but it'll probably take like
It's gonna take forever.
20 years or something.
And yeah, when we were at the museum yesterday, the old stone house, is it fort or house? Old stone house. The staff that was there was talking to us about how that's considered an archaeological site. Like, you know, they
Really?
need to have
Yeah.
they need to have staff on site to make sure, you know, if they're pulling up cannonballs or even human remains possibly in that
Wow.
area. So it's a very they're doing a lot of good work environmentally, but it's also a very sensitive site historically.
Yeah, because it goes. I mean, we're very focused on the Revolutionary War right now. This week.
This week, yeah.
But this area was. There were Native American people living here, and the Gowanus. Now, I don't want to say something wrong. So you can fact check me if I'm wrong here, but I believe, because we're actually doing a Native American roads walk in 2 weeks. But I believe that Gowanus actually is a Native American word, or it comes from a Native American word. So that whole area was inhabited for a really long time, like way back before we even have records. So I think when that dredging is happening, you know, people, I think that's part of the reason too, that archaeologists are there. They're like, what are we going to find? It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could go back like 600 years
Yeah,
or more.
Of course. Here's Tesla.
Oh,
We got
here
to
we
saw
are.
some cars back there in the driveway.
All those fancy cars.
Red Hook Terminal.
I don't know what those machines do. Something to do with
Something about
boats, maybe?
I bet.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about New York City, I don't think of cars as the first thing, but there certainly are a lot of cars here. And I remember just over the past few months, you know, before I recognized this Tesla factory was here, or the dealership was here, thinking like seeing one like every once in a while parked in the streets, and I was like, oh wow, like it seemed like an anomaly, but now I see them like everywhere. It seems like I don't know if it's a switch flipped in my brain or if really like Teslas are just being bought everywhere now.
Maybe.
Maybe.
They seem to have a different story revolving around them these days. Like, I think at first, when I first heard about the Tesla, it sounded very very fancy and sort of out of reach. And I think they're trying to be more accessible, maybe.
Yeah, they're trying to make it more common and
I think so.
a name brand. It's, oh, Tesla, you should get one.
Right.
Yeah.
This way?
All right. Going up President Street.
The light's nice right now.
It's beautiful, I know. Can't go yet.
Sorry.
It's a tricky intersection to cross.
Yeah.
Another car coming this way. And we can go now.
All right.
Is this a community garden?
It looks like it might be. Let's see. Urban Meadow.
Urban Meadow? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Looks really nice.
And then a playground next to it.
I don't know if I actually see any garden. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of a, near the fence there's a garden, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
The playgrounds have been hopping the last couple of days.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the weather's like a little bit nicer. And I don't know if the kids are still, I don't know if kids are in school right now. I can't keep up with all the in and out that's happened this year.
Hmm.
But
I really like houses that have these stairways like this. There's some in Williamsburg and other areas.
Oh, I
Not a lot-
definitely noticed them in Williamsburg.
Yeah, not a lot of areas in the city have them, but I just really like that look.
Hmm.
yeah, it's like an airy stoop.
The modern brownstone stoop.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even over here.
Oh
this
yeah,
side.
yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Except over here, we won't have a local resident sitting on these
Yeah.
Right.
stoops. Only
Doesn't
down
seem
there.
like it. Yeah, I love that. I wonder how much, like, I feel like people are really friendly these days, but I also wonder how much of that is like us walking around and being open to it too.
Mhm.
Like if they can pick up on it.
Yeah. I've always believed, and I had this belief before we started the project, that New York City plus warm weather makes the absolute nicest people in the world. But it's only for like 3 or 4 weeks out of the year. So like April, and like today honestly feels like a late March, April
It
day.
does, really.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because we're all like in the winter, like in our tight coats and completely covered up, like just trying to get places as fast as possible. I mean, I guess not this year for us, but for most people. I really love that sign for the deli.
Oh, Carroll Garden Deli.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just the colors
It's an
and
old
the
font too.
Yeah. I don't know if this deli itself has anything special to offer, but it seems like it would just because of that sign.
Well, they have a big selection there. Salad,
Yeah.
Philly steak, bagels.
It
Cream
does seem like
cheese.
everything you could want.
I love the style of like deli pictures, It's like such a unique aesthetic.
Yeah, and it seems like each deli, I mean, sometimes it's like you'll see the same pictures over and over at different delis, and then sometimes there's like a unique flair for one place that's like very specific to them, which is cool.
I think now we're officially out of Red Hook.
Yeah, I think we're entering either like the Columbia Street waterfront district, or we might be going into Carroll Gardens now.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
sure. I'm not
confusing.
sure
There's
right
there's
here.
a Carroll Gardens deli sign, but if
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I always thought Carroll Gardens was a little bit to the south of here, and then it might be Cobble Hill. I don't know.
Oh, maybe Cobble Hill. Yeah. This area has like a lot of neighborhoods. I think
I know.
I
I
don't
always
know.
call like the greater downtown Brooklyn area.
the greater downtown Brooklyn. That's good. Yeah.
Like even within downtown Brooklyn, there's like Fort Greene, there's Dumbo,
Right.
Brooklyn Heights.
I don't know how much of that was like when all those neighborhood names started to get defined. I always imagine that maybe some of it has to do with like real estate, but
we recently
Yeah, I don't
bought
know.
ourselves a map from online that has all the neighborhoods listed in the 5 boroughs, kind of like a periodic table of elements.
yeah.
Because we want to, if we're going to be walking around, we know all the neighborhoods, but we don't necessarily know where they all are.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're just going to put it up somewhere and just stare at it
Just study
until
it.
it, enters the head.
Yeah, because then I I like when people get into debates too about like where the
Exactly.
exact line is.
I got like a lot of that too on my comment section. And then
Really?
sometimes even Google has the boundaries wrong.
Right. I saw an article, I forget who wrote it, one of the like New York blogs, like Untapped Cities or like one of those. And it was like the definitive neighborhood lines, like someone made a map and there were like over 1 million views on that Google. It's like a map you can link to on Google, and there were so many views on the official map.
A lot of traffic on the BQE here.
Yeah.
The usual, there's no difference.
And loud.
Yeah, definitely loud.
As Jessi mentioned earlier, we did a walk a couple of weeks ago about the BQE, and we did a podcast with our friend who's going to MIT to get his master's in urban planning, Hicks Chansey, and he was so informative about the history of the BQE and like the history of like urban highways in general and like what they do to communities, as well as like the real value they provide in getting people around and getting goods to where they need to be. It really made us think about something that's so loud and crazy like that, and really like, you know, I'm sure the audio was totally different just now, you know, and that we're experiencing that too, how that impacts people that are on the streets. And a city is a very, you know, on the street place usually. And when the cars were first invented and highways were coming up, people thought this was going to be the new solution. This was going to be the new city. And it's just funny to think like nobody thought, well, this is really loud. You know,
Exactly.
like, maybe this isn't the nicest way to have people live, you know? And we're still dealing with the consequences of not thinking far ahead as a consequence.
Yeah.
And now it feels like there's too many cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a term that he shared with us called, I think it was called induced demand.
Yes.
Where, like, if we hadn't had built this sort of big highway through a not small town, but like smaller area, less trafficked area, then maybe people just would have found another way to get around. But because of the highway, it made people think like, oh, I'm supposed to have a car here. And it makes sense, like when you start to sort of break it down.
Yeah.
Do we keep going straight?
Yeah, we're just a couple of blocks away from Carroll Park, which was the site of another old fort.
Oh, perfect.
So we can roll by that.
Okay.
So go this way.
Go that way.
Yeah.
I thought this said Magnolia Bakery, but it's Mazzolas.
Oh,
Yeah.
a fake out.
The
It
pole
looks good
was,
too, though.
Yeah.
It's Zagat rated 5 times.
Ooh.
Wow.
From 2003. That's the oldest one.
Wow. That's
All
good.
the way to 2013, I think.
Yeah. Good for them. Must be a good place.
Yeah, we gotta watch out for the Christmas trees.
Have you been seeing any of the mulch piles in the
I have.
parks?
Mm-hmm.
They smell so good.
Yep. Holy.
Oh, wow.
There's a pumpkin there that looks like it's so decomposed.
Oh my gosh.
And the pigeons just going up there and pecking at it.
I guess that's been there since Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what I was looking at. I think I was looking at something at the Brooklyn Bridge Park, and I think just because there aren't really any events going on this year, I clicked on their events tab, and for a couple weeks after into the new year, it's called Mulch Fest.
Mulch Fest.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I guess you can bring your Christmas tree and watch it get mulched.
I saw another way to reuse the Christmas tree. They just fed it to goats
Oh, really?
and fed it to farm animals. Yeah.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Is it good for them?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's
Yeah.
feed, so.
That's cool. When we were in Staten Island, there's a park, which I can't remember the name of it right now. It's also an old fort, though, and it's on the Staten Island side of the Verrazano Bridge. And they have, Fort Wadsworth is what it's called.
Yeah, Fort Wadsworth.
Yeah, and they, at least over the summer, they have a whole team of goats that hang out in the, like on the side of, like, not where people walk, but sort of in between where people walk. It's all greenery, and there's a lot of poison ivy, and they eat that to like keep it back.
Yeah.
And I guess it doesn't hurt them.
It doesn't hurt them.
Yeah.
They've used them for weeding in other parts of the city too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
A natural way to deal with your weed problems.
Yeah.
Just get some goats and leave them there.
What a dream. I would love to do that.
I'm staring at my phone to look at the map.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we just have to turn this way and then go up to Carroll Park.
Perfect.
I'm glad Mike is directing us. I don't even know where this park is.
He's a good navigator.
Carroll Park. Is it on 4th Avenue?
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe I haven't passed by this park before.
Maybe it's a new one.
Is that 4th?
Just like Coffey Park. I've never been to that one.
Yeah.
It's between Smith and Court Streets.
No, I don't think I have been there.
Go up this way.
There are a lot of these like very
I-
small parks
We had never
throughout
been
the
there until
city.
this week either. Or at least I haven't. Had you?
I don't remember. Maybe when we. Oh, is this the one that with the playground as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't been in this one. Yeah, it's amazing how many little parks there are that I guess you just wouldn't really know about it unless it's in your neighborhood or if you just happen to be walking on the right street, you know, like, because even just one street over, you just never know that it's there. It's nice to have that in the city, I think.
Yeah.
So the fort that stood here previously was called Fort Box, and it was maintained with like 4 cannons, and there was fire exchange between the British and the Americans, and ultimately this was a site where the British were firing down upon the retreating soldiers during the colonial retreat to Brooklyn Heights.
The British were firing from here
That's right.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've moved out of like the safe zone at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a name for a fort. Fort Box.
Fort Box.
Yeah.
I think it was named after one of the last names of one of the minor colonels at the time, or something like that. This is where my 1 week of research really shows. Look at this church.
I know. South
Wow.
Congregational Church. 1850.
Yeah, that's nice. I bet that stained glass looks really nice at night.
Oh, definitely. So here it is. Carroll Park.
Oh, there's a bunny.
What? Oh. I almost missed it.
Almost missed the bunny.
Yeah.
I was looking at it for a while. I was like, is that just fur? What
I
is
thought
it?
it was a dog.
I saw someone bring a chinchilla into a grocery store. I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
what? Seriously?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what happened to it because I was on my way out, but
Yeah, I hope it.
I gotta take, so one thing we do when we're walking around, we do a lot of different little things. One of them is anytime we see keys that are lost, we take
Oh.
a picture of them.
oh,
One time, actually just in Astoria recently, as Mike was taking a picture of the keys, it was at night, and so I shined my flashlight, and I guess we attracted the attention of someone down the street, and he came over and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I've been looking for the last 2 hours for those keys. Thank you for
Wow.
finding them." And it was like his superintendent's keys or something for
gosh.
their, like, and one of
wait,
those
what does
fob.
that say? Brooklyn Superhero Supply Company?
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Well,
I don't know.
hopefully it's not the keys for the superhero supply company.
Yeah.
It might be too easy.
I don't even know if that's a place that exists anymore. Or maybe it's just a,
I think, wasn't that on the 4th or 5th Avenue?
I don't know. Brooklyn Superhero. Yeah, 5th Avenue. It's closed now, so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, it seems like a pretty specific store. If anything, they might know.
yeah.
All right. Sometimes if you have a keychain and you put like a piece of ID on it, like a library card or something, you can discover who it is that way. But
Yeah.
this one's a little hard to tell.
It's like maybe it's theirs, but it's, or it also could just be someone that likes the
Likes the
that green
store
color
got-
or something.
Or got
you
it
know?
as a gift. The
Yeah,
keychain.
exactly.
That's such a strange and specific store, though. The Superhero Supply Company.
Right. That might be why they've closed now. But maybe too niche. But I think they
Yeah.
were around for a while, and it was sort of like toys and games, and also like they'd do like superhero photos, if I remember correctly.
Well, look at this monument.
So
and-
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
I believe it's, well, I think it's World War I. I
Yeah.
don't believe it's Revolutionary War.
And I guess, I mean, the fort obviously isn't here anymore, but it must have been just in this location. It's hard to imagine also a fort being here when we're surrounded by
is.
kids, like,
It's a really active park now.
right? Yeah, in service of their country.
Yeah, World War I.
1921 erected.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna charge this because I think the battery's gonna end soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You just plug in an external battery.
Perfect.
Yep. All right. I'll just use the small one. I'll just piece it together and cut the clip
Perfect.
and. Alright, it's charging. 18% battery left.
Oh, you got it just in time.
Well, it's still at 18%, but the bar looked like it was all the way down.
Oh.
We're good now. Alright.
Cool. Back in business.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's carry on.
Okay.
I'll walk to Fort Greene. I always find the houses right around the parks are like so nice.
They
Almost
are.
always very envious of it.
Yeah. And just the idea of having a house right on the park sounds so nice. Even if it's just a small park like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wow, this swing set only has 2 swings.
It seems like there's a supply and demand issue
know.
here.
They need more.
Oh, there's some on the other side. Oh, but there's only 2 over there
Only
too.
2 over there.
That's funny. I guess that's why the kids are just running all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's a school right on the other side of the park. And then I think there's just so many families that live around here now.
Mm. And you see the skyline of downtown Brooklyn in the distance.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, it looks really nice right now. I love when the light sort of makes it like fuzzy.
Oh, there's a perfect setting right now.
Yeah.
Also, all these street names are named after like parts of the Revolutionary War.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Union Street, President Street.
Right. Oops.
There's Smith Street. I don't even know who Smith was. It's such a generic name.
It's such a generic name. Yeah, it's hard to. I'm not sure what specific Smith was this street named after. I also don't know who Eileen C. Dugan was.
Yeah, I don't either.
I thought at some point during this, I thought about taking a photo of every
Whoa.
speed racer.
Almost got hit by a scooter.
I thought about taking a photo of every street name that has like an additional street name for a portion, and then it just felt very daunting to add on. But there's just so many streets that are also named after someone else, and I'm interested in who those people are, like how you can get a street named after yourself. What do you need to do that?
We need the HV street next, Highley Varlet. Right?
Yeah.
Well, make it 2 separate streets, Highley
A
Street
Highley and a
Varlet.
Varlet? Oh my gosh, that would be cool.
Speaking of which, how did that name come about, Highley Varlet?
Oh, so we've actually been using that name for creative collaborations between the 2 of us for almost like 5.5 or 6 years.
Okay.
We worked on a comedic web series together and wanted to make shirts for it for a party, and figured we needed to make a name that wasn't just Mike and Jessi. And so my last name is Highet and Mike's last name is Varley, and so we mashed those together and made Highley Varlet. And it sounded better than
It
whatever
does sound better.
Varlet Highley, or I don't know what the other one would have been, but we tried mashing it a couple different ways, and it sounded like it could even be something.
You can,
Highley Varlet.
Well, varlet is a word. It's a Shakespearean word.
Oh.
It means like a bad guy. Yeah, I don't know what the exact, but it's like, you know, kind of like a jerk, but like underhanded, dastardly person.
Which then, but then
And
Highley
is a word, but it's spelled
yeah.
differently the
A
way we
different
spell
way,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
See here, like we.
Yeah, but it's funny. Sometimes, like if I write an email, even though I sign it off Jessi, if it's coming from Highley Varlet at Gmail, people respond and say, "Hi, Highley." And now we have some friends too that will refer to us as Highley and Varlet instead of
It's funny.
Jessi and Mike, which is fun. I never really had a nickname like that. Like Jessi is already a nickname for Jessica, so it's been fun to have this. Like you with Action Kid, I'm
It
sure you
is.
feel.
It's weird when people say, "Hey, it's Action Kid," or
Yeah.
"You're that guy from YouTube."
Yeah, that's so cool. it's almost in a way like I feel more personal than someone like saying my actual name.
Yeah,
Like
that's
when
true.
people say, "Oh, it's Highley Varlet," it almost, because it's like they already know something that's like really something that I get a lot of joy out of doing.
So this area, Smith Street, is very busy. There's a lot of activity over here.
Yeah. Yeah, this street has a lot of restaurants and bars and shops.
Oh,
and-
look at that mural.
Oh my
A lot of
gosh.
shirtless men over there.
For oyster bar, looks like.
And boys, not just men.
Yeah. Huh. I like the there's like a pattern in it too. It's kind of nice.
This makes me a little bit nervous
I
walking
was
on
just
the
gonna
grapes
say.
and the boards.
I was just
Jessi
gonna
and
say
I
the
go
same
back and forth
thing.
about that all the time. I
Oh.
don't feel any nerves about it. And Jessi purposely avoids the
I avoid them too because
Yeah. Or if I do have to walk on it, I'm like, I take a deep breath and like
yeah.
go sort of very purposefully. So if one foot slips, I still have a safety with the other one.
Yeah. That's one of my fears, falling through one of these grates.
Oh, or yeah, because sometimes they seem secure, and then you step and it like sinks
Oh, look,
5
he's
inches.
braving it out.
See, he's a brave guy.
Or even the sidewalk sellers, not necessarily falling through, but someone opening it up beneath you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know it is. These when you're walking around this much, you're like, the chances normally may be pretty low, but but the more you're walking around, the more the chance is that I could be that person.
Exactly.
But hopefully not. Hopefully we didn't just jinx ourselves.
So Jessi and I have a lot of time to talk.
Yeah, I see.
And so one time a few weeks back we were talking about fears, like what our fears are. And I couldn't think of anything that I was really afraid of. I'm not trying to say that I'm not afraid of things.
Tough guy.
I just couldn't think of anything. And then like a couple of weeks later, we were walking the Triborough Bridge, the RFK Bridge.
Oh yeah.
And if you walk the side from the Queens side over onto Randall's Island, the pedestrian walkway, it sounds like maybe you know what I'm talking about.
I know it. I've walked it plenty of times.
Yeah. Have you done it on the show, on the podcast before?
Yeah. On
Yeah.
the
Or on the-
YouTube
on the
Or
channel.
the
YouTube.
YouTube channel, rather? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to make it right.
Okay.
There is no railing, or the railing comes up to here, and then it's like a 200-foot drop to the water.
Yep.
And yeah,
That's
I'm just
crazy.
afraid I'm going to throw myself off. Like, you know.
Or
doesn't
like
make
the
any
wind
sense.
will
Or
come
the
up
wind
and
will
like
come up, or someone will like push you
run
just a
into
little
you.
bit.
Or, yeah, and there's bikers there too, right? So you're like,
Yeah.
what if someone gets too close? Or...
Yeah. And the day that we went over there, it was fog. So it was like
Oh, no.
looking off into the eternity. It was like the end of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or something, where
Wow.
she jumps into the waterfall. It was crazy.
Mhm.
But that was the only time I've been like, I just want to get off this now, you know.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, that bridge is a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have to take a picture of this one. I sometimes take license plate
Oh,
photos,
wow.
and because
Oh,
there's
wow.
so
Those are my
many like,
initials.
yeah,
Oh,
there's so many vanity plates in the city, and that is something I've started taking pictures of. And sometimes I'll skip it if it's just like letters that I don't understand what they match up as. But yeah, that's Mike's an Islanders fan,
Yeah.
and those are his
New York
initials. So I don't
Rangers.
know why the Rangers got
Oh.
his.
Obviously, there was an error when they made that.
I see. Is this a school? Oh wow.
Wow.
Cobble Hill School of American Studies.
Oh my gosh.
This
We could
does not look
probably-
like a school at all. It looks like a a courthouse or something.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's really
beautiful.
nice.
We could probably learn about the Revolutionary War from these kids.
I
I'm
know.
sure they're right. I would hope they'd be learning about it, or I would think.
There's a high
beautiful.
school.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Legal and American Studies high school.
Wow, learning about legal in high school. That's
Yeah.
getting a really early start.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the specialized high schools are really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there are a lot in New York City of like almost like declaring a major or something at freshman year
It is.
at like age 13 or 14.
Definitely a lot of playgrounds that we passed today.
Yeah.
Forum Playground, Carroll Park, the first one we went to.
Yeah, and they're all busy.
I guess the children want to go out and enjoy the warm weather now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Get it while you can. After that snowstorm in December, which I'm sure you were out and about
Oh
in,
yeah.
it's been very mild. We've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
It was one of our concerns, or well, maybe not concerns, just forecasts that the winter might be the hardest of our seasons to walk. But
Mm-hmm.
so far, knock on wood,
Yeah, actual knock on wood.
Yeah, that's
I
convenient.
would say that that the summer will probably be the hardest one we did. One, because it was the start, so our bodies were adjusting, and two, the heat is really it'll do a number on you. Like we had to drink
Yeah.
water constantly in order to
Yeah.
stay, right in the mind.
I carried a Camelback most days in the summer, and now for the winter, I just carry this water bottle. That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Which is nice because it folds up.
Mhm.
But yeah, and you can refill it throughout the day, but I don't usually refill it in the winter now.
Yeah, so far we've been going for an hour and a half, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. But we'll make it to Fort Greene.
Yeah. And there were I don't think we'll go right past the points exactly, but sort of in this area there were two more forts that were used in the Revolutionary War. Which
Yeah, I thought about taking us over to it, but I wanted to get to Fort Greene before it got dark. We'll
Dark,
see
yeah.
if we can get there in time.
Yeah.
But one is in what's now a Trader
Watch
Joe's.
this car.
Oh.
All right.
Thank you.
It was a fort, and then it got turned into a bank, and it was a bank for the longest time, and now it's a Trader Joe's.
Wow.
Mike made a funny joke yesterday. He called it Trader Joe's, like Traitor.
Oh, that's funny. They
At
keep
least-
all the food in the vaults, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I wonder how many people that shop there know that it used to be a fort.
Probably not many.
No. It does seem though like the Trader Joe's has become just as important as the forts. Especially now during COVID, I've been
That's funny.
seeing do you notice that every time you pass a Trader Joe's, the line is
It's so long
so
now.
long. And I'm like, don't you people know that there's other grocery stores? But I think it must just be a good one.
Yep.
People that like Trader Joe's are brand loyalists.
Well, we need a Trader Joe's in Astoria. We don't have any Trader Joe's in Queens other than one.
Oh, really?
That's in Woodhaven, I think, or Forest Hills.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
far. Yeah, we don't have one near us either. When I lived around here, I would go to the Trader Joe's. And I did not know until this week that it was a fort. So
Well, Brooklyn's getting a Wegmans now. No, I think it's already open.
Yeah, over
Yeah.
near the Navy Yard.
The Navy Yard.
That's a good bathroom spot, too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, because there's nothing else there.
Right. yeah, people were really excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
The sandwich shop and all. I think people were psyched. I love seeing all the different ways that restaurants have made outdoor seating.
Mm-hmm. Like over here, we have this wooden structure with the white on the side.
Yeah, I think that would have. We take pictures occasionally of the outdoor seating, but I think that'd be a real good project right now to see all the different types.
Yeah. Yeah, because some are really creative. Like, have you seen, like, when it's sort of individual
Bubbles
coverings?
and,
Yeah, bubbles
and
or
little
like.
stalls, like separations.
Yeah, exactly. I think it looks, those look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't gone to eat in any of them, but it seems like it would be comfortable
Yeah.
and feel safe.
Well, during March and April, I was taking pictures of the signs on people's
Oh,
storefronts saying we'll be closed due to COVID-19.
yeah.
I think I must have taken at least like 30 different pictures of all the different signs.
That's a good
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, that's good stuff to have. Back, like, especially back then, and it's still happening now, now and again. But, people say New York's dying or something like that, which, Jessi and I would get up in arms about, which are like, that's not dying at all. But
Yeah.
I think when you think about, like, how innovative these businesses get about, like, how they're going to seat people and stuff, like, that wouldn't happen in a place that's dying.
No.
That's,
Right.
that's
Definitely not.
definitely people like, we are all A-type entrepreneurs here. We're gonna make this work. And like,
Yeah.
that's never gonna go away. People, and if some of those people leave, there'll just be new people that come in to do the same thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's also just so many people here that you're bound to have at least some percentage of how many people live here? 8 million?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be people that are going to want to innovate and figure it out and move things forward and keep things alive. And yeah, I've really gained like even more of an appreciation for this city walking around, and even through this, pretty terrible time that the whole world is going through, seeing how people manage to keep moving and keep things happening.
Almost in downtown Brooklyn now, past Atlantic Avenue, pretty much there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess would we be in Brooklyn Heights right now?
Mm-hmm.
Are we there?
Let's see. Google Maps would suggest maybe we're in Borum Hill. I
Oh,
don't know if, I think Brooklyn Heights is a little bit more to the north.
Northwest.
okay.
Yeah. I wonder how many neighborhoods we walked through today. Let's see. Red Hook, Carroll Gardens, Borum Hill,
Cobble Hill, I think.
Cobble Hill is 4.
At least 4.
Downtown Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
and 6, Fort Greene.
Well, under Fort Greene.
Yeah. 6 neighborhoods.
That's pretty good.
I mean, on a normal day, walking 26 miles, you probably walk at least through 20, 30 different neighborhoods, I would
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do actually
think. A
have
mile a neighborhood.
Right, maybe. We have, and it's not on public display, but I think at the end of the project we will probably compile all of our data, but we have a spreadsheet where we list every single neighborhood that we walk through for each route.
Wow.
And then we also list like main streets, like very well-known streets, and we list like landmarks, and it's a pretty like filled out spreadsheet of what we're seeing.
And a lot of that info is on our website too, highlyvarlet.com, for people that are interested in that sort of thing.
Oh,
We-
that's right. There are
We
tags
take
actually.
pictures and have Google links to every route we do, and
That's great.
Yeah, as well as clothing is our component of our project, where we feel that one of the biggest ways that you can express yourself when you're out on the street is by what you're wearing, in a way that you don't even have to talk. And
Mhm.
you'd be surprised at the number of times people have encountered us just by what we're wearing, and we start up conversations as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
even when we were talking to that guy on his stoop, and he was like, "Why are you wearing the same hat?"
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember even the day before Thanksgiving, you were wearing something really like eccentric.
I had some
Mike was-
crazy pants. on.
Yeah.
People were
that was
really,
really
commenting
crazy.
on his pants too.
I know.
think they liked that. Well, most people seem to like them.
Yeah.
I love them.
I thought it was unique. I was like, whoa, this is something different I've never seen before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we actually spent, I think about 2 months making our wardrobe for this. We
Wow.
went to a bunch of different. We took a little road trip into Pennsylvania over Thanksgiving of 2019, and we went to a bunch of like bulk vintage stores as well as like Goodwills and small thrift stores all throughout like eastern Pennsylvania, and found secondhand and vintage clothing to make our full wardrobe for the entire year. And then we packed them, we like steamed them and did alterations. I'm a seamstress textile artist too, so like I could do all our alterations and add patches and dyed some things and painted on things and made it like perfect, and then packed them all up for each season. And so now as the season changes, we get to like find our new wardrobe and wear
Yeah.
those clothes too.
Well, here's the street that everyone fails to pronounce. I've heard everything from Skemmerhorn to Schemmerhorn to Schemerhorn
Oh, sorry.
to
Yeah.
Schermerhorn.
I think I usually say Schermerhorn, but I don't know if
Schermerhorn.
that's right or not.
I don't know. I think it's Skemmerhorn, but
Skemmerhorn?
That's what I would say too. But it does look like Schermerhorn.
yeah.
Well, I'll say Skemmerhorn from now on. The Kosciuszko is another one that
Yeah.
I never know how to say. Kosciuszko, Kosciuszko, I don't know. Kosciuszko, Kosciuszko. So many different ways.
I've heard, yep. Different ways.
That's funny. We were just talking about clothing. He said, "I like your style."
There's the developed part of Brooklyn now.
Yeah. Yeah, it sort of happens all of a sudden. We're like,
I know, all of a sudden, like, bam,
yeah.
now we're in skyscraper city.
Right. And we are near BAM.
Yeah.
We're getting close. You gotta
I
cut
see, yeah.
Cool.
Where are we gonna go now? Flatbush?
We could. Do you have a preference?
No, I don't.
We're on Livingston now.
Yeah.
We
Livingston.
could go up Dekalb to there.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, let's go up Dekalb. This whole storefront is empty. Wow.
Wow.
Big space.
Wow, yeah.
And I noticed this skyscraper. This one is, I don't even know how to like call the design of this thing.
Yeah.
Modern?
Yeah, modern.
It's kind of interesting. I like the angles. How on the side it sort of like creates a pattern. I get a little dizzy looking up that high.
Yeah. Feels like each window has a curve to it.
Yeah. I wonder what that's like to be in those. Like if you would feel that it's a curve. I like these light displays that are
Oh,
on
yeah.
this street. I can see a few further up too that look like they're all just different colors, same pattern.
I like that building too, now that we're a block or so away from it.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And the light looks good on it too right now.
Yeah, was that the Macy's?
I think we can cross that. There's a red
we
light.
can.
That's weird. There's no pedestrian crossing here at all.
Yeah, it's hidden.
Well, there's one
Or
on that
it's-
side, but that's it. Oh, behind us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That doesn't help. That's another thing we have to do as experienced walkers.
Yeah.
Know when to go and stop.
Sometimes. It's the amount of I wonder how many crosswalks we cross in a day. We should probably keep track of it one day. Get one of those ticker counters. But you kind of take it for granted too,
It is.
following the crosswalk.
The most eventful part of our walk, walking through a construction site.
It's certainly the noisiest part,
Yeah.
I think. I like the experience that sometimes happens in New York where an area has scaffolding for so long, for years and years because of construction for a big building. And then when the building comes up, the scaffolding is gone. And you're almost more shocked by that than the
am.
building itself, right?
Yeah.
You're where am I? I'm not in this blind tunnel anymore.
I got used to the scaffolding being there.
Yeah. Yeah,
This
it
is
becomes
Fulton
part
Street
of
now.
it.
All the shopping happens here, and they got the mall in there, City Point Mall.
Right. Oh, and another Trader Joe's.
Yep. Chipotle's busy. It's also Century 21, which is out of business now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Biker.
The dime savings
really
bank.
pretty.
Wow.
Wow. It looks like they're doing some renovation or something.
Like drastic renovations.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And then that building
This
right
thing
behind,
behind it,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so funny. It almost looks like it's coming out of the bank in the back,
Really?
too.
Reminds me of Grand Central a little bit.
Yeah, totally. I wonder if maybe it was made during the same time. Similar decorative patterns.
All right. Dekalb Avenue.
Have you ever had a Junior's restaurant?
I have just for the cheesecake.
Oh, yeah.
No, wait. I did go in one time
Yeah.
for the restaurant. Yeah.
That place is great.
They
I've
have
only
some
been there
pretty
once.
Good pastrami and corned beef sandwiches.
And milkshakes.
Milkshakes are
They have a
really
good milkshake.
But that's kind of like a New York institution back to the Frank Sinatra days.
Yeah.
We took years ago, filmmaking classes at BAM, and which is right down the street. And
Brick, not BAM.
oh, sorry, it's right. Brick is in the same building as BAM. BAM is the performance area. Brick is I don't remember what it stands for, but they do Brooklyn filmmaking. And one of the highlights of taking that class, the class itself was great, and I would totally recommend it to people, honestly, when that starts up again. But one of the highlights was coming to Junior's at the end of the night, after every class, and getting dinner.
Here it is, Junior's.
Wow.
You got plenty of seating, that's for sure.
That's great.
Actually, today's not a bad day to do outdoor dining. It's not cold.
Yeah.
The campus of Long Island University.
Oh, yeah.
There's a straight shot down there.
I
Oh,
know.
wow. And there's the bridge.
Manhattan Bridge down there. I don't think we're too far away from the park now. Maybe another
Just a couple
few
blocks,
blocks,
yeah.
yeah. There's a really nice monument at the top there at Fort Greene.
That's right.
Yeah.
So some more backstory on there before we get to it. Fort Greene Park was actually originally called Putnam Park, and there was another fort called Fort Greene that got demolished, and this one got turned to Fort Greene Park later, like 100 years later. And it was very strategically important. You can see 360 degrees all around Brooklyn. You could even, back before there were buildings and everything, you could see almost all the way down to Gravesend where the troops were coming in.
Wow.
Wow.
And the monument that Action Kid just referenced is actually a monument to prisoners of war that died in the Revolutionary War. And their remains are interred there now. They were moved later. And
Wow.
it's really amazing. 11,000 men and women died in these prison ships that they had during the 6 years of the Revolutionary War. And this monument is to those men and women that died during that time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And most of these remains, I don't know who they are.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, 11,000 is such a stupefying number when you think
Yeah.
Of
about it.
course, yeah.
Especially when we were just saying earlier that it was, 25,000 people living in New York City?
Yeah, and 30,000 was the British.
Troops, yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
That's a third of the population.
Yeah.
No,
That's
almost
so
half.
wild. Right.
Oh, we got the hospital here for a restroom if you need.
Oh,
Now
right.
that you know.
Now that we know the tip.
Yep.
That really is a good tip. Finding bathrooms while out walking is something that's always in the back of the mind.
Now you're gonna not think of hospitals the same way again.
I know, right? Be even more grateful for them.
Oh, there's the Empire State Building a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can see it. Just a little bit. Yeah, the park is right behind the hospital.
So she's like almost there. I went into that deli, Dekalb deli, yesterday, and they were some of the nicest deli owners or deli workers that I've met in a while. They were so friendly. We didn't talk about anything particularly riveting, but they were just so excited to have someone in there and were really nice to me. I went in for half coffee, half hot chocolate, which I've been doing recently. I don't know. I can't imagine I'm the first person to think to do that, but I feel pretty proud of myself for coming up with it. It's a real nice treat.
All right, this is Fort Greene Park.
Yeah, here we are. You can already see, I mean, what Mike was saying, that this was a spot where you could see 360 degrees. Even just the entrance to the park, you can already see how tall it is.
And it's good timing too, because the sun's almost down.
Yeah, we really worked this out well.
Not like we'll kill the enemy.
There's a beautiful sunset too. Wow.
Nice. Yeah, I bet we'll be able to see it really well from the top.
Yeah, from the
too.
top. Gotta be a little bit careful because the steps are not really equal distance from each other.
Right. Should we go up
Right.
this way? Okay.
Jogging trail, not a jogging trail. So calm in this park.
Yeah, right now, this time of day is really nice.
Oop, 2 dogs.
Oh. Oh, there they go.
Ooh, that was a good point. They're playing.
Oh, I didn't see.
Nice.
These guys in the middle, they're good.
The tennis, yep.
Oh. It's a highlight of walking around is seeing all the dogs.
Yep.
Jessi loves dogs.
Yeah, me and everyone else,
I know,
right?
but you-
Everyone else. I like dogs too, but
they're-
Yeah.
Jessi,
I do get
well,
particularly
we
excited.
talk about getting a dog, and you know when you're walking 5 marathons a week,
It's
not
hard.
the best time
It's not
to
the
have a dog.
great time
I
to have
know.
a dog, yeah.
Maybe when this project is over, we could have a lifestyle change.
Now
That's
that you're
why-
on video, I'm holding you to it.
That's what people ask me also. They're like, do you have a pet? Do you own dogs? I'm like, no, I probably wear my dog out. And
Yeah.
it's hard to take care of when you're outside all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and when that's such a big part of your life to be outside, it seems like it wouldn't be fair to
I
have an
know.
animal just sitting home waiting for you.
I like dogs, but I don't like the responsibility to take care of one.
But I think that's totally fair. And good to know
Yeah.
before going into it.
Or just have a dog sitter at home.
Yeah, that works too. Right, we seem like we're going up a
Yeah.
sort of secret way here.
Secret entrance. This is the
Yeah.
first time we've been off trail in the entire walk at the end.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's strategy. Finally get to experience more like what it would have been like then.
Yeah.
These dirt roads.
I almost tripped over a rock. No,
Oh,
I did.
no.
I did.
Oh,
I didn't fall though.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot to hold this and to watch the
Yeah,
ground.
I know.
All right. So this
Here we
is the
are.
monument you were talking about.
That's right.
The prison ship memorial.
And I guess is this the highest point of the park? I think it must be,
Yeah,
right?
it has to be.
Yeah.
So if there weren't all these tall buildings, I guess we could see all the way down to the water on the southern side of Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. Is that Manhattan on that side? Yeah.
I think so. Yet again, getting kind of turned around.
I know, it's like going back to that skyline question.
Yeah, exactly. What are we seeing?
Yeah, that's the Empire
Oh
State
yeah, there
Building.
it is.
Unmistakably, that's it.
Oh yeah, and there's the World Trade Center
Yeah.
down there.
It'll be nice to see with all these tall buildings in Brooklyn, but
Yeah. I don't know what that building is over here, which is still in Brooklyn. It's kind of hard to
Oh,
see through the
no.
trees, but the sort of skinny domed tower, that always stands out to me too.
Are you talking?
Through the trees
Oh,
there,
11 o'clock
yeah.
there.
that's I knew the name of it before. Forgot already. Yeah.
It's nice. It always stands
It's
out.
a clock tower, I know that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Williamsburg clock tower.
Oh, it is?
Williamsburg Bank
Oh,
clock
okay.
tower, yeah.
Oh, the Williamsburg Bank. Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
Doesn't exist anymore, but
But it's still that
it's
building.
still there, yeah.
It's really nice.
All right. Should we
Well, we
end this
did it.
video?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
we made it to Fort Greene.
All right. So, that was an adventure, folks. If you enjoyed this collaboration with Highley Varlet, go check out their YouTube channel because they're great. Awesome guests today. Hope you learned something. And I'll see you next time. Smash the like button. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Clear up the doors, please.